episode of Channel 914. I'm your host, as always, Rail Allen. And I guess at this point, you don't really need an introduction,
Yeah,
right?
no, I'm a reoccurring guest.
You are. She's a reoccurring guest. This is the third. This is our third time. Third time. Yeah, man. So if you haven't seen it before, and you can't already tell, that this is my child.
Yes.
Her name is Nia. We have the same last name, which is Allen.
Yes.
Nia Allen.
Okay, this is off topic, but
You're already getting off topic. We literally just started. You're already getting off topic.
I'm dressed like this because I went to church this morning. I didn't dress up for this. I don't want people to think I'm weird. Okay, I went to church this morning. It was lit. Apostolic Church on the south side. You should go. It was like a free concert. That pastor talked maybe 10 minutes tops. It was just music. It was amazing. I loved it. Anyway, I'm dressed like this because I went to church this morning. So
yeah. Nia doesn't typically wear dresses.
It's becoming more common.
You have been, yeah. You definitely you've been wearing more dresses.
But it's only now
that you're blossoming into a young woman.
It's only for special occasions. I don't wear dresses like on my day to day.
No, like going to school. No. Well, you've worn a dress a couple of times.
On my birthday.
You did wear a dress on your birthday.
And I looked very nice.
You did. You look great.
Okay. Anyways.
Yeah, we're not here to talk about your fashion choices.
No, that would be a good episode. I have great fashion taste.
Yeah, you're all right.
Okay. Well.
But yeah, no, we are not here to talk about Nia's fashion choices. We are here to talk about The Last of Us, a great show that just ended. Well, I guess what was it like? A week or so ago? Season finale came on.
Did I just delete this? Wait.
Did you delete your note?
I have my notes. Where did they go? No, I deleted all of that. It's so crazy. Wow. Okay. I was sitting here and I just deleted all. Okay, anyway, I'll just go off of memory.
So you know what you want to talk about. I
know what I want to talk about.
Okay.
It's
bloopers in real time. You just deleted all of your stuff.
Yes. Okay. Speaking, well, we're talking about The Last of Us.
Yes.
The star, Pedro Pascal's birthday is today.
Happy birthday, Pedro Pascal.
Happy birthday. You seem like a very cool dude.
He's a good actor. He's good. He's been in a lot of things. He definitely played a very good role as Joel.
Yes, he was amazing.
Yeah, Joel was definitely, you saw him from this kind of like just very, very hardened.
Yeah.
You kind of saw him turn back into who he was at the very beginning of the show before everything happened.
And Pedro Pascal, I've watched like interviews on him. He seems like a very goofy person in real life.
I can see that.
Like he's real like dad, you know?
Yeah.
But Pedro Pascal, I hope if you see this, which you probably won't, but if you
never know, he might check it out.
If you do, I hope you had a great day, and yeah, you're pretty cool.
Happy birthday, Pedro Pascal.
Happy birthday, Pedro Pascal.
So, overall, what did you think of the show?
It was very, 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 very good. Very good.
That's your critique?
Yeah.
Very, 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 very,
all right,
very good.
and that's it. No, I like.
All right, well, show's over.
Yeah. No, I liked it a lot. So here's the thing. There's this thing on the internet. I don't know if you know this, but you basically it's called.
Is it the internet?
Yes, it's called gameplays.
Gameplays.
Right? And it's basically where you can just watch someone else play the video game.
Which is weird.
It's not weird. It's helpful. So you don't have to actually go out, buy the video game, play it yourself. You can just watch the video game, especially with like a video game that's like narrative, like The Last of Us.
But why wouldn't you want to play it for yourself?
Because I don't want to play video games. It's like a movie. Like, I can just skip past all, like, the actually playing of the games and just, like, watch the cutscenes. Because it's basically like a movie.
Okay. Well, continue.
And so, I remember watching The Last of Us gameplays probably when I was, like, 11.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was too young. I don't know. I was watching this, like, gaming YouTuber.
How did you come across?
I was watching this, like, gaming YouTuber. He was probably playing, like, Mario Kart or something. I don't know.
How'd you go from Mario Kart to Last of Us?
So then I was like, oh, this looks cool. And then I clicked on it and I was like, what is this? Then I got traumatized, so I just clicked off of it. But from what I watched, it was very good.
Yeah, I knew it was a game. I've never seen anything about it. So you watched the whole thing. So you were familiar with it?
Not really. I've been like recently I've been trying to watch gameplays to like kind of like compare the two, and I've gotten maybe like halfway through the game. I haven't gotten that far because the gameplays are like 2 hours long.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have the attention span to sit there and watch like a 2 hour long video. But like especially in the beginning, it's pretty like it's like dead on to what happened in the show.
Okay.
Like that when spoilers, Sarah dies, which was what happened to Sarah. It was like some of the shots and even like line like word for word.
Yeah. So that was what I've heard. Like I've never seen it. I've never played any of it. I've never watched people play games on YouTube because that's weird. But I from what I've been told and what I've seen, everybody's saying it's pretty accurate. Like they really did a good job, like translating the game to the series.
It's definitely the best. I haven't seen a lot of these, but it's definitely the best video game adaptation I've ever seen. Cause
adaptation.
Adaptation.
Okay.
I saw that I saw all the Mortal Kombat movies.
Oh no, those were not,
all awful. Even the most recent one was awful. I watched like half of the Resident Evil show. I just couldn't focus on it.
And they've been a number of Resident Evil games. There was a couple of Resident Evil movies that were pretty cool. With I think her name is Mila Jovovich, but those were some years ago.
Yeah, I tried to watch the show. It couldn't hold my attention, but then I don't even know how I started watching The Last of Us. But all I remember is that when I started watching it, it was only the third episode. Like it was only 3 episodes. Mm-hmm. So I got on like the bandwagon pretty quickly. And I was hooked.
Yeah, no, I think I watched it. I think I watched the first episode because I'm pretty sure I told you.
Yeah, you probably told me about it.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I just heard about it.
Yeah, but I have some questions for you.
Oh, you remember the questions?
I do.
Since you deleted all of your stuff?
Okay. So, what was your favorite episode?
Oh, coincidentally, I was going to ask you that same question. Kind of skipping ahead here, but hey, you know what? We'll roll with it. What
was your favorite episode?
I was sitting here trying to think about exactly which one. So what was it? Episode. So Survive and Endure, the episode with the little boy. Yeah, that one was
Henry and the deaf brother.
Yeah.
I liked. Sorry, I liked.
So that's another part where I heard that pretty much played out exactly how it played out in the game.
I liked that episode, but it was just like so sad that I was just like, I don't. Yeah. I was like, Jesus Christ. And that scene with like the zombies and they kind of like
came up out of the ground.
That was crazy.
Yeah. And it was kind of because it was kind of wild because that woman, Kathleen, like she knew, like, because they were kind of alluding to something happening like underground.
Yeah.
So they knew that that was going to be a problem. So it was just kind of like, it was kind of fitting that's how she met her demise.
Yeah, and I was kind of confused as to like what was going on the entire episode. Like even now, like the whole Fedra and like Fireflies thing kind of confuses me. But like, I understood it in the end. Like he killed her brother to try to get like cancer treatment for him, and then that turned out bad because they both died in the end. So
yeah.
It was. I mean.
Yeah, and it was, I don't know. It's kind of like one of those human nature things, like where people are gonna like. I mean, yeah, he's gonna look out for his little brother. And then at this point, that's all he has. Everybody's lost people.
Yeah, so especially in the world that we're living in.
Exactly. So people are gonna hold on and try to do whatever they can to aid the people that are close to them.
Yeah. Can I say my favorite episode now?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay. So my favorite episode was between episode 8. That episode was insane.
Which one was episode 8?
The one with the cult leader.
Oh, yeah. That was
wild.
Yeah, that was pretty. That was pretty intense.
It was between episode 8 or episode 3.
I was gonna say episode 3.
Okay. I have a story about episode 8. Right. I mean episode 3.
Okay.
So I was I don't even know what I was doing, but like I had put it on. It was kind of like a background sort of thing. Like I might have been like drawing or like on my phone or something while I was watching it. And all of a sudden, like I see, like it cuts. Like all of a sudden, I remember seeing Frank in the hole. And I was like, "What is going on?" And then, the next thing I know, he's playing piano. He gets up and they're kissing, and I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "What is going on?" But then I was like, and then I watched it back, and I was like, "They're gay." The biggest plot twist ever.
Yeah. It was pretty insane, but just kind of watch like that happen like over the years.
Yeah.
To where what was it? What was the guy's name? Frank.
Yeah.
That wasn't. No, not Frank.
Bill. Nick Offerman?
Yeah, Nick Offerman. Bill. Like to see him kind of like go from this like really, really kind of like, I mean, because he was already kind of a doomsday prepper, which is pretty much how he survived.
Yeah.
Right. And then basically he seemed to be pretty content being by himself. Yeah. Like he wasn't looking for anyone. He had no desire. And then this random person kind of like comes into his life in a very, very, very weird type of way.
Yeah.
And then they end up spending basically the remainder of their lives together.
Yeah, and then just the end was, it was so sweet.
Yeah.
Like, it was sad, and I liked the kind of just like focusing on them that episode.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty. I heard people didn't really like it. First off, because they're gay. Like, people are just not going to like it just for that. And the second off, because they thought it was just like filler. But
I don't think that was filler. Yeah, and I'm not sure if that was a part of the actual game.
So apparently in the actual game, Bill and Frank were just like best friends. People thought like it was implied that they were a couple.
Okay, but they never ever officially said it in the game.
They never just outright like said that they were a thing.
Okay.
But it's kind of like with Tess and Joel. Like
they never really said that they were a thing,
they were a thing, but it's very heavily implied that they're a thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with Bill and Frank in the game, but I think they just really wanted to like be like these two men are with each other.
Yeah. Well, they definitely they didn't leave any room for interpretation with that in the show.
No, they're just really good friends.
No, they were. I mean, I'm sure they were friends, but they were definitely together. They were for sure a couple.
Okay.
But just kind of like how that happened. And then they still they showed the significance of them because of how that partnership that they had with Joel, right? Mm-hmm. And then how that ended up coming into play along their journey.
Because Joel was going to give Ellie, basically, he was just going to hand Ellie off to Bill.
Right.
And have him, which I would have paid to see how that turned out. Because Ellie, man, I love Ellie so much. Okay, but my second favorite episode was episode 8. I knew that it was going to be kind of like cultish.
Yeah.
But I didn't expect how intense it was gonna be. Like, I knew not to trust the dude when he showed up, and Ellie was just like Joel had gotten stabbed,
right?
And Ellie was trying to get medicine for him and trying to like survive. She got the deer, and then she found the two guys, and they were like, "Oh, we're fine, we're good people." Hey, right. Did I mention that we're good guys? I just got to tell you, we're good. we're not gonna kill you. We're good guys.
Right.
And then so, kind of turned out to be not that.
No, definitely was not that.
And then I found out that they were eating people, and it was crazy. And then the scene that really like caught me off guard was when he slapped
a girl
because she wanted to like avenge her father because Joel killed her dad. Which Joel is always killing someone. But Joel
killed a lot of people.
I know Joel killed so many people. But Joel killed her dad. And she was like, we should kill him. He walked over there.
So calmly.
I know. He walked over there. I was like, what is going on? Then he just like slapped her. And I was like, oh my God. And then he got up and was like, it's okay. And she was looking at him like, bro, get away from me. But that was crazy. And then when they kidnapped Ellie and like said that basically insinuated that they were gonna eat her, That was crazy.
Oh yeah, no, they were definitely about to.
And then when he tried to make Ellie like his little wife,
that
was creepy.
That episode just got weirder and weirder and weirder. Did.
And then Ellie, like, I always thought, so it had always been like, I thought that here's how the episode was gonna go. Mm-hmm. Ellie was gonna get kidnapped. Joel was gonna come and save her because Joel is cool, right? But Ellie just like went.
Ellie saved herself.
She was not messing around. Yeah. She I don't know. She killed the henchman basically.
Yeah.
And she went
the henchman.
Yeah. The dude, I don't even know who he was.
I don't know. Yeah, he was
just there. He was just standing there. But then she went after the cult dude. I forget his name. It was probably like Michael or like Mike or something like that.
What was his name? Was it? I don't remember his name.
It was probably something basic like John or Michael or something. But she went after Michael John, and she
that's officially his name, Michael John.
She went after Michael John, and they had like this kind of like standoff, and then Ellie like got on top of him, and she just kept going and going.
She definitely lost.
And I was like, Jesus Christ! And then
and rightfully so. So first she's trying to rape her. And then he resists that. Yeah. She resists that.
And breaks his finger.
Yeah. So then it was like, okay, I'm going to eat you then. Whoa. Yeah. So I get her having a little pent up frustration.
And then my favorite moment of the series, she went outside and Joel was there and he hugged her and he called her baby girl. It was like a turning.
It was an emotional moment for you.
I cried. It was just like, that's what he called Sarah.
Yeah.
And now he's calling Ellie that. And it was just like a turning point in their relationship, going to show like how much Joel truly cared about her.
So there were 9 episodes. Yes. So then after episode 8 was episode 9, which was the end.
Yes.
So how do you feel about how the series wrapped up?
So I was watching the end of the episode in Spanish class, right? We had free time. We had free time. I'm a good student. I finished my work quickly, so then I just watched.
You are a good student.
I am a very good student.
You just got all A's again for like the umpteenth time.
Oh, thank you.
But still.
Okay, so let me explain. I had free time in Spanish. I get my work done quickly, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna finish this episode. Right? Joel goes on his little murdering spree. For the umpteenth time.
His murdering, he definitely killed everyone.
So like everyone, not a single person was left alive in that. One person did that too. One person. Joel did that all by himself.
Yeah.
But I knew it wasn't going to end well for everyone because he took his daughter basically, and he wasn't going to let that happen to himself again.
Yeah, there was no way he was going to go through that again. Either he was going to die or everybody else was going to die. One way or the other.
Like, so he went on his little killing spree, right? And then I looked at like the time, like how much time was left in the episode, and I was like, oh no. And then he got Ellie. He killed Marlene, which caught me off guard. The lady from Greenleaf. She's from Greenleaf. That's where I know her from.
Okay.
But he killed Marlene. He got Ellie. They were walking to what I assume was Joel's brother's like farm. You know that?
The town.
What I'm assuming was where they were going.
That's what they were going back to.
Yeah, and he was talking with Ellie, and I see that there's like 7 minutes left, and I'm like, oh God, how are they gonna wrap this up? So then he's like, and then they basically have this conversation about like loss and like losing people, I think.
Yeah.
And then Ellie was like, promise me that you're telling me the truth about what happened. And Joel looks at her and is like, I promise. And then she says, okay. And then it ended, and I was so stunned in Spanish, and like my best friends were looking at me like, what is wrong with you? And I was so just like flabbergasted. It was like when Infinity War ended. Like that, it was like I have never experienced something like so close to how I felt at the end of Infinity War.
So obviously they're leaving it open because there's going to be another series. The series was very successful.
It got greenlit almost like immediately.
Yeah. So there's gonna, but So I want to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not if she's gonna find out, because Ellie's gonna find out.
Ellie's gonna find out.
Yeah. So how do you think she finds out?
I think I've
Because nobody was left alive.
Yeah, no.
And that's really why he's just making up this story. It can't be anybody that was there unless somebody just happened to survive somehow.
Yeah. Okay. So I have not seen up to like this in the game, so I literally have no idea what's gonna happen, and I kind of want to keep it that way.
Yes, same.
But I believe that fireflies are gonna come after Joel, right? Like other fireflies, because obviously they're not the only fireflies.
Right.
I feel like other fireflies are gonna come after Joel. Joel and Ellie are gonna have to like run, basically like get away from wherever they are. They're gonna have to escape from the fireflies, and Ellie's gonna be like, "What is happening? Like, why are we? Like what's going on? Like, why are we leaving?" And then Joel's eventually gonna have to come clean, like, "Hey, I murdered a bunch of people, by the way." So
yeah. So I'm interested in how. So I don't know, because that's a possibility. It may get to a point where like he may just have to tell her on his own, because I feel like he kind of like the part about him. So he said like their raiders came, right, and he said he barely got it out of there. So he really just could have left it at that, like him making up the whole point about how they're not looking for a cure anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he kind of like said that to maybe dissuade her to keep her from thinking about it, so she wouldn't try
she wanted to make the cure. She was like, "I want to help."
So that's the thing. So what Marlene said was like, this is what she would want.
Yeah.
Right? So, but obviously, but the thing is, I don't think they made it clear to her. They obviously didn't make it clear to her that she was supposed to die. Right? Like they said she was going to have surgery, and she said that she doesn't have any idea. She's not going to experience any pain. But obviously she wasn't going to make it through the surgery.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, like, so yeah, he did this to save her life, but also like at what cost?
Yeah.
Because this could have been the thing to save all of humanity, but it also maybe it wouldn't work. Maybe we don't really know. But he still lied to her.
Yeah, I don't think he was willing to take that risk. Also, we were talking about this a little bit earlier, but what you said like about him he wouldn't have been able to live through losing his second daughter.
There was no way he was going to be able to survive that. That would have broken him like completely. And he wouldn't have had any other reason to go on. Yeah.
Speaking of daughters, you are my dad.
Right? I am your father.
And I feel
last time I checked.
I feel like Joel. It was one of my notes. I remember. I feel like Joel and Ellie's dynamic was kind of similar to ours.
A little bit. I can see why you would say that.
With a lot less cursing.
Well, yeah, because I definitely don't allow you to curse. No. I curse sometimes in front of you. I be trying to stop.
Sometimes.
Don't. But I don't allow you to just curse.
No.
Yeah.
But I really liked their dynamic. Ellie is very funny.
She was.
She's hilarious.
Yeah, she was. She was kind of a little.
You said she was annoying. She was a little annoying at first.
Yeah, in the beginning of the series, especially like when they first started going on, it's just like she just kind of like she didn't want to listen.
I was like, can you please just shut up?
Yeah, it's just like I mean, you do realize that there's like
zombies.
And there's a whole world out there of things and mutated creatures.
Well, she didn't know that because she had been in the.
She knows, but she still knows that there's stuff out there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she doesn't know exactly, but So she was a little annoying, but she definitely, as time went on, and you kind of saw like her and Joel develop that relationship.
Yeah.
She got exponentially less annoying.
Yeah, and I also am interested to see how, because obviously Ellie's been through a lot, right?
Yeah, to say the least.
To say the least, she's before episode 8. Ellie had already been through so much.
Yeah.
She's had to kill people.
She had to kill her best friend.
She had to kill her best friend.
Yeah.
She's had to go through so much. But that episode, I feel like, has scarred Ellie. Like, what happened in that episode has scarred
which
her.
episode?
Episode 8.
Okay.
I feel like has scarred her.
Yeah.
And, like, left such a mark on her. Like, I wonder how that's going to affect her in later seasons. And I wonder if that's going to, like, what happened is going to come into play. Because, obviously, no one comes back from that.
Yeah, I mean, and you kind of saw that, like, after in episode 9, like, at the beginning, when she just kind of sit there. She was very somber for pretty much the whole episode.
Yeah, like, weirdly somber.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And even Joel kind of, like, peeped it. He was like,
right.
are you
and that's what you kind of trying to do stuff. They started, like, they broke out the joke book. They were doing that.
And he was like, I'm going to teach you how to play guitar if I can find a good... Like, he was trying to...
Yeah.
Like, good dad. Good dad.
It was all coming back to him. It had been a while.
Speaking of him,
Uh-huh.
I had no idea that Sarah was going to die
that quickly.
That quick. Okay, so I was confused, right? Because the series starts right with the series starts, and I was like, "Who is this girl?" Because I knew what Ellie looked like, right? And that girl looked nothing like Ellie. And so I was like, who is this? And the episode went on. We saw Joel, and I was like, okay, there's Joel. And I saw Tommy, and I was like, okay, there's Tommy. And then the episode went on, and chaos started unraveling. And I was like, okay, who is this? Like, I knew it was her daughter. I knew it was his daughter, but I was like, what role did she play in the game? And then she got shot. And I was like, okay, so she's gonna like live, right? And then she died, and I was like,
yeah, right there.
Yeah, and it was the fact that she died at the hands of a human and not even like a zombie.
Yeah,
that kind of like really.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the type of it's crazy. I mean, obviously we've never experienced anything like that, and hopefully that never ever happens. But you know, when they're trying to like doing things to try to contain, like, you know, where at that time they thought they could still contain it. So anybody they would risk exposure to whatever it was. They're just gonna they're not gonna let you get out. So I mean, and it was really so I knew once the guy they got caught by the military guy and he made that call to whoever. Yeah. I know. Yeah, he's about to kill him. Yeah. So, but I knew somehow, obviously, because I knew he was gonna survive. Yeah. So. And I didn't know the show, but I did know just based off what I've seen. I'm like, okay, I haven't seen her anywhere else along the lines. So I was like, okay, so I was pretty sure. Okay, I don't think she's gonna make it.
No, but I completely forgot what I was about to say. Okay, I forgot what I was about to say.
That's why you should have your notes.
I need to take vitamins, man. My brain is off.
Yeah, but it was really sad though. Like it definitely that first episode was really intense, and it really kind of.
And it was like kind of showing off Pedro's acting chops. Yeah, he kind of got me I was like, oh, this is so sad.
Yeah, it really that was a bit of a tearjerker for sure.
Single dad trying his best, and then his kid gets shot.
Yeah, man.
Oh, I know what I was about to say.
What were you about to say?
Sarah possibly could have gotten infected, and she couldn't, because she went into the city to fix his watch.
Yeah. So and she was asking
acting like, "Am I infected?" He was like, I don't think so. Like, he basically was like, I hope not. Right. But she very well could have been infected.
She could have been infected.
Because she was in the city that day. Yeah. So,
Yeah, I mean, you never know.
But, yeah. Also, the infection, that was one of my notes. I remember it. I'm still really mad about that. But the fact that the virus comes from fungus, that is very real. Yeah. I looked it up and I was like, I had heard about the zombie kind of ant.
Yeah, I've seen that. Before, I'm pretty sure.
And I thought it was really freaky and really weird. But the fact that they were like, what if the earth got a little bit warmer? And I was like, oh my God. So yeah, and then I feel like this is weird, but zombie, the subgenre is one of my favorite subgenres of horror for some reason. I've just been watching a lot of zombie stuff.
I'm not a fan of the zombie.
Yeah, you know that Korean zombie show? Oh, yeah. All of Us Are Dead that I was watching?
Yeah.
And I was was stressful.
I pretty much watched all of that with you.
Like half of it.
I saw the end.
You saw a good chunk of it.
I saw it to the end. I didn't see like the beginning. I was kind of you were like halfway through it when I first started watching it. But I'm just not a fan of, because like The Walking Dead was a very popular show, and I watched some of it. But I'm just not a fan of like people being eaten.
Yeah,
that always freaks me out.
But I don't know. I've just been really into it recently. But a lot of the zombie stuff that I've seen. I haven't seen all of it, obviously, but it's always some, like, mad scientist kind of, like, goes wrong virus, like, spreads across, like, it gets out, which is basically what I've seen. But I liked how they, I was about to do that. I liked how they kind of, okay, you're interrupting me.
I'm sorry, I was just trying to, okay we're good.
But I liked how they kind of took a more realistic route.
Yeah, because I mean, it was definitely like a different take.
And I was watching like the opening, and I was like, this feels like this could actually happen. Yeah,
especially when they because it happened, was that Indonesia or wherever it was, and they had that scientist come in and expect. And when she found out what it was, she was just kind of like,
you gotta
bomb it. Yeah, like, you gotta bomb everything. And and so I had no idea. Like, I knew it was kind of like a zombie thing. I had no idea that it had something to do with fungus. That is very scary.
Very scary.
Like, I mean, now the probability of that happening obviously isn't very high.
I watched a video on it just to make sure. I was like, is The Last of Us possible in real life? And I watched the video, and the guy was like, it is a very low possibility of this ever happening.
Yeah, it's very, very low. But because of that genre, it has been, I mean, the zombie thing has been done
since like the 60s.
Yeah, right? Yeah. And like you said, it's normally some sort of virus, something gets out.
Yeah.
So like for them to take that kind of approach to it.
It's very different.
Yeah, it's kind of like a fresh take on something that's been done countless times.
Yeah, okay. I have another question.
What is your question?
What was your least favorite episode? Because I want to see. I feel like we're gonna have the same answer.
What's my least? Let me go back to the list.
I have my, like, it wasn't a bad episode, but I just didn't really like it. The
least favorite episode. I don't know if I have a least favorite.
I do.
I don't know. What was yours?
Episode 7, the one with Riley. I mean, I enjoyed it.
The flashback episode.
Yeah, but I was just kind of like, okay, let's like, can we get to like Joel and Ellie?
Yeah, I mean, okay, fair. I will agree with you there, because that whole flashback episode was, I felt like it was kind of, it was a little too drawn out.
It was filler.
Yeah, it was too drawn out. We didn't need to see all that.
It was just because Joel was bleeding out. Like, he was dying. But I thought that it was entertaining. I really like Storm Reed. She played Riley, which is my sister's name, by the way. I thought that was pretty cool.
That's cute.
But she played Riley, and I thought that their dynamic was cool. I knew something was gonna happen to Riley because like we never saw her in the later season. I mean, the later episodes. So I was like, okay, what's gonna happen? And then they cut to the zombie in the mall, and I was like, oh god. And then,
I just knew there was gonna be one somewhere.
There had to be at least one zombie.
I knew.
Somewhere.
I knew there was gonna be one somewhere.
And then they started fighting, and like anytime anyone in the show ever fights a zombie,
so you get bit.
They always realize later, like it's always like, oh my god, I got bit. Yeah. Which I don't know, like, how do you not feel that?
I mean, in the moment, I could see, because I mean, there's plenty of times where I'll look down like, oh, I cut myself somehow. Like sometimes that's true. And especially in a moment as intense like that where you're legit fighting for your life, like.
Yeah,
a little bite or something there. I mean, because just kind of like Ellie's mother in that last episode, they kind of like, true. Yeah, which really kind of explained how
Ellie got like
it's, why she was immune.
No, but then it did have some good backstory because it showed how Ellie got the bite.
Yeah.
And then it showed like what happened to Riley because she had mentioned her a couple times in the earlier episodes.
And I feel like you needed to explain that. I just feel like I don't think they needed a whole episode.
It could have been like half the episode. Like they could have done stuff and flashed back to that. I feel like it was just,
it didn't need to be the whole episode basically.
But then I'm glad that they didn't show her killing Riley because that would have been too much.
It
definitely was implied that she had to kill Riley. I wonder how Ellie. Like, I wonder how stressful those couple days had to have been.
After the fact?
After the fact that she got bit to where she was just like, okay, I'm not turning.
Yeah.
Like, when is it going to happen?
Yeah,
I wonder how, like, that would have been awful. Just to think, like, okay, at any second, I'm going to turn into a zombie. And I'm surprised that she kind of, like, because I feel like everyone who I've seen that's gotten bit before, they were like, okay, just kill me.
Right.
Like, just kill me because I don't want to turn into a zombie. I'm surprised that she didn't, like,
just go that route.
Yeah, just go that route. I'm surprised that she, like, stuck it out. But
well, I mean, cause she was probably, because she was by herself, right?
That is true.
So it was just her and Riley. And then she had to kill Riley. And then, so who was she going to get to do it? And I guess after a few days... So after like it happens to Riley and it doesn't happen to her,
she starts to realize.
Then she said, oh, okay, well maybe something, maybe I'm not gonna turn, maybe I got lucky,
and she didn't. So
yeah, but then she finds out she's immune and she can actually save the whole world, and now all that stuff is on her. So I imagine it could have been pretty stressful for her.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have any more notes that we haven't?
So I was gonna ask you. You asked me what's my least favorite episode. Oh no, I'm sorry. Who's your favorite character? Who did you like most?
Because I feel like everyone except for Joel and Ellie was just in one episode and they kind of just disappeared. Frank was pretty cool. I really liked Frank. Like Bill, he was funny. Because it was kind of like how I feel like a lot of couple dynamics, like the polar opposite of each other.
Like Bill was all quiet and smug, and Frank was just so like vibrant and lively. And
it was kind of like polar opposite, but they like equal each other out.
Right.
I really like both of them. Like I like their dynamic. Oh my god, I love Ellie.
Yeah.
I love Ellie. She is so, just like I love her. She's really cool and she's a really good character. I really like Joel too. Mainly because he's played by Pedro Pascal. But
do you have a thing for Pedro Pascal?
Okay, listen. I know he's like 48, right? But people have been like simping for him online.
Simping?
Yes. Do you know what that means?
What do you think it means? Explain what Gen Z defines as simping.
Basically, like just like kind of like head over heels, just like obsessed with this one person.
Okay.
So a lot of my friends have. I won't drop any names, but Reagan. I will be sending this to you after it comes out. You are obsessed with Pedro Pascal, and I just exposed you. Sorry, Reagan. But at first, one of my other friends was really like obsessed with him. He was like, Pedro Pascal is really hot, and I was like, this dude looks like a baby chicken. He's not.
So you don't think he's handsome? You don't think Pedro Pascal is attractive?
But then I watched The Last of Us and I was like, okay. And then I watched interviews with him and I was like, oh. And then I watched. And then I watched more of the stuff he was in. I watched Narcos and I was like, okay, I watched like an episode of Narcos and I was like, okay, I can get behind this. I can get behind him.
Okay.
So yes, I really do like Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
He's cool.
So he was definitely, I mean, obviously easy to pick for a favorite character, right?
Yeah.
But and I have a couple of like auxiliary characters. I thought Tommy's wife was really cool.
Yes, she was in Queen Sugar.
I've never seen Queen Sugar. I need to watch that.
My mom was obsessed with that show for a while.
Yeah. But so I really liked her character.
She was nice.
I
liked Tommy. I thought he was cool.
Yeah.
I kind of liked, kind of like cowboy.
Yeah, and then but obviously Joel, just to kind of like his transition,
Yeah,
his
he
story,
has
his story arc.
some of the best character development
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
seen in a while.
yeah, and for him to like be this like obviously like kind of like because you in the beginning of the episode you could see the relationship he had with his daughter. He was very lighthearted, kind of like good guy heart. Yeah, basically, yeah, it was very very similar.
Because they were kind of like messing with each other.
Yeah,
and she was smart, and he was like, "Where'd you get the money for this?" And he was like, "I sell drugs." That sounds like something I would say.
That was definitely something you would say.
so
so to see him go from that and then to like fast forward to like now we're in this dystopian world where like the fungus has taken over. And now he's just kind of like this cold-hearted killer, and everybody's just afraid of Joel.
He really reminded me of you, and it made me very sad. Because I was like, it was just so sad.
You think I would become a stone-cold killer in a dystopian world?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know how I should take that.
No, it's not a compliment or an insult. It's just like a fact. It's like just like that's what will happen. And if I survived, which if I was with you, I probably would, I would become your sidekick.
I mean, well, let's hope we never have to find out.
Yeah.
And we don't have to like worry about any of that.
Oh yeah, definitely not.
But yeah, it's so like just to see him evolve and then to go to that and then like where he really wouldn't. He was really just kind of very standoffish with Ellie for a while.
Yeah, and then that episode 4, I think it was when he went to Tommy's farm, like their town. When he
no.
Was it 5?
No. They didn't get there until 6. Episode 4 was when they first got to Kansas City.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
and that's when they got caught. And then 5 was
Henry. With Henry,
and that's when they had to break out, and then episode 6 was when they got to.
Okay, so episode 6, when it was like kind of like the first turning point in their relationship.
Yeah.
When Joel kind of opened up to Tommy and really opened up to him and told him like how much how scared he was.
Yeah.
And not even just for himself, like he was scared that she was gonna like die because of him. Right,
and that's what happened because he said because of what happened with them in Kansas City.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he just really, man, and like I mean I've seen him in multiple things. He's a damn good actor. And so that just kind of like put it more on display. Like his skills as what he's able to do with that character, man. He really, really, very, very.
He did a very good job.
Yeah, he humanized him
really
and really went through the whole gamut of like emotions and like even how you viewed him as a character.
Yeah, I kind of didn't like Joel at first because he was just really mean.
He was very mean.
But then,
I mean, he went through a lot.
Yeah, I had to think about it a little bit because I was like, dang, Joel, like she's 14, like Jesus Christ. But as time went on, Pedro Pascal really showed like the human side of him.
Yeah.
And also that scene where Ellie was like, I'd feel a lot less safe if I wasn't with you. I was like, oh.
Yeah, yeah.
And then she was like, I've lost everyone in my life and I don't want to lose you. And I was like, oh my God. But yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. I was really happy when Joel found Tommy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that was really cool. And like just to find out that they were kind of like in this place where they had like built this whole kind of town that was working. They were growing animals. They had electricity.
They were growing animals.
I mean, like growing food. Raising animals. Raising livestock. Growing vegetables and fruit. Like they had food. They had electricity. They had running water.
Yeah.
I mean,
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, just to see that.
Also, I have a little bit of a bone to pick with this. The only thing that I would have, like, I have an issue with Pedro Pascal's performance is he didn't do the accent. Because in the game...
Oh, he has an accent?
Tommy... Because they're in Texas. In the show. Tommy has, like, full-on country bumpkin... I mean, not Tommy. Joel has, like, full-on country bumpkin accent. And it was amazing. And I love that accent. And... sorry. There were like moments where I could hear like a tinge of like a southern accent, but he didn't go full country bumpkin, and I don't Appreciate that.
I knowing that, I'm glad that didn't happen.
Yeah.
I feel like that would have annoyed me after a while.
Probably.
Yeah.
I just really like Southern accents.
Why? Why do you like Southern
I
accent?
wish I had a Southern accent. It was just like I feel like I don't have an accent. I probably do, but
Well, people say there's a Chicago accent.
Chicago.
Obviously, we don't hear it.
I know I say garbage weird.
Garbage.
Yeah, I say like garbage. Like and like one time this is off topic. One time I was like, "Hey, throw this in the garbage," and my friend was like, "Did you just say garbage?" And I was like, "Yeah, garbage," and she was like, "It's garbage," and I was like, "No, it's just garbage. It just rolls off your,
Garbage.
garbage. Put the thing in the garbage. Just put it in the garbage." But anyway, so
Yeah.
it probably would have annoyed me, but I really like Southern accents, and I wish I had one.
Well, I'm glad that didn't happen. I'm glad that the good people at The Last of Us show, not the game, decided to nix the accent.
Pedro Pascal has been playing a lot of like cowboys recently.
Where else did he play a cowboy?
Oh, he was a cowboy in The Mandalorian, a space cowboy, basically. He's the man.
Can you say? I mean, I guess kind of.
He's a cowboy. He's like a cowboy. He's a
bounty hunter.
He's the cowboy.
Okay.
He's a space cowboy.
Okay.
Space cowboy.
All right. He's a space cowboy.
The Last of Us, because there was a lot of horses and cowboy hats for some reason.
He rode a horse for a while
He
too.
did ride a horse,
Mm-hmm.
and he's from Texas.
Mm-hmm.
He was in the Kingsman Golden Circle.
I didn't see that.
And he was
a cowboy in that.
He was Agent Whiskey.
Agent Whiskey?
Yes, and it was amazing, and he was very like animated, and it was very funny.
Mm-hmm.
And then in Narcos, like he was like a secret agent, but it kind of gave cowboy.
Okay.
Just a little bit, because he had a cowboy hat.
So in none of those instances did he play an actual cowboy though.
No, Agent Whiskey.
Wait, so he was a cowboy?
Yes, look up Agent Whiskey right now.
I have to do it. Agent Whiskey.
Agent Whiskey, Kingsman, or Agent Whiskey, Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, Agent Whiskey, Kingsman. Let me go images. Oh well, yeah, okay.
Cowboy.
Okay.
He had a whip.
Yeah,
he had a
all
whip.
right, okay, yeah, definitely.
He was a cowboy.
He was okay. All
he
right.
had a whip.
I'll give you that.
Okay.
I'll give you that.
Okay.
So that's why one
You
out
just
of
have Agent.
one
I'm
out
gonna
of
make
five.
I'm gonna make that my wallpaper. I'm gonna make Agent Whiskey my wallpaper.
The mustache is a little ridiculous, but it's okay.
He looks.
So is this like an electric whip? Is this what's
Yeah,
happening
it was.
here? Like a special whip.
Yeah, it was like.
Now I have to watch this movie now.
You do.
Now I have to know.
It
what's
was
going on.
It was like weird. It was weird, but it was like, it was entertaining.
Okay.
But yeah, Agent Whiskey. And then, and he was in Wonder Woman. I completely forgot he was in the second Wonder Woman.
I kind of blocked that out of my mind.
I completely like.
What was he? What character was he in Wonder Woman?
When they were talking about the wishes, like he was the crazy wish dude.
Ah, that was him.
He looked so different.
Yeah, but it was.
I blacked that out of my memory. I was looking at his movies, and I was like, he was in this, and I was like, my god.
Yeah, I remember that was him. Yeah, he was that.
That wasn't him. That was the writing, because he's a really good actor.
Yeah. No, even though I mean, I don't think anybody. It was like the personal fault of any of the actors in that movie. It was just terrible. Like from
awful,
beginning
awful,
to end,
awful.
it was just.
Yeah,
bad,
but then in Narcos, look up Pedro Pascal Narcos.
Okay.
You can tell me if he was a cowboy or not.
Well, I mean, because I've only seen a little bit of Narcos. Pascal Narcos. Okay.
Oh my god.
This I don't know if I can say this is giving me cowboy vibes
It's
here.
giving, like, look at the tight jeans with the button down.
I mean, this is just kind of like how the dread. No, I know I can't give you that one. I can't give you that.
So
I'm sorry.
Do I have two or three?
No, you have one.
What? Okay, Agent Whiskey.
Agent Whiskey was a cowboy. Joel. Okay.
Okay, two.
One and a half.
Okay,
one and a half. I'll give you 1.5.
The Mandalorian.
He's not a cowboy.
He's a space cowboy.
That's not a space cowboy.
Okay, anyway, next question. Pedro Pascal is a cowboy. Look at him. He's like what is he? He's Chilean. He's like a Chilean cowboy.
Is he from Chile?
Yes. I know this because I have an obsession.
Oh, okay. Of course. So, of course, you would know exactly where he's from.
Jose Pedro Balmensada Pascal.
Oh, you
I
know
know
his
his
whole name.
whole government name.
Oh wow.
Jose Pedro Balmensada Pascal. Anyways.
So what do you see? What do you think is gonna happen?
On the
Like
second season?
on the second season?
I
Because you said you haven't seen enough. So have you, like, in terms of the gameplay, have you seen it up to this point? Well, you said you haven't, right?
No, I've only watched like maybe like the first like the first third of the show.
Okay.
I think that it's gonna be like, I know it's gonna be like a cut in a couple years, because I know in the second game Ellie's 17. She was 14 in the first game, 17 in the second game.
Okay.
Maybe that's how old I'll be when the show comes out. It comes out 2025. I'll be 16.
You'll be 16.
I'll be 16. So,
well, it depends on when in 2025.
anyway, I'll be like 15, 16.
Yeah.
But I know it's going to be a jump cut. I think that they'll be, I don't know, living with... No! I have seen some of the gameplay. I remember now. They were living... Okay, I think... Wink. That they'll be living with Tommy, and like they'll be in.
Well, that's kind of a given. That's where they were going.
They'll be in like a community. All I saw was Ellie kind of like interacting with other teenage aged characters. So I can assume that they were in some sort of community.
Okay.
That's all I know. I know that Fedra's probably gonna come after Joel because he left the quarantine zone without authorization or whatever.
Right.
They're probably gonna
and he also killed.
And he also killed so many people.
Yeah, well, he killed somebody leaving because he killed that guy. Remember because like when he first got outside the wall,
right.
the guy that they were kind of cooperating with, he ended up having to kill him.
Right.
Right. He kind of like beat him to death. That's what I'm saying. Like Joel,
you do not want to mess with him.
Yeah, it was definitely not a guy. So for him to turn so nice and warm and fuzzy at the end, but still like capable of mass murder, essentially.
Yeah, but Joel, I think that they'll be like living in the
community.
Area, the community.
I forgot what they named it.
Like
they had a name for it. I think.
The Haven. But then Fedra's probably gonna be coming after him. Fireflies are probably gonna be coming after him. It's just a lot of stuff is going to be going on. Yeah. I know that there are going to be multiple people coming after Joel, and Ellie is probably going to have to, do something about that. I also know Ellie has a new love interest in the second game.
Oh.
Her name is Dana.
Okay.
I know about Dana, and that's it.
Okay.
That's all I know.
All right. Well, I guess we'll have to wait. So you said it comes out 2025?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to talk more about episode 8, though, because I wrote them.
What do you have to say? Do you have like a whole like dissertation? Do you have a whole thing?
It was genuinely some of the scariest stuff that I've seen in a while. Like, I don't like when it comes to like horror, I'm good with like zombies and like ghosts and like all that stuff, because it's just like, well, like I'm good with stuff that you could like shoot and kill. I'm like, just like, why don't you just like shoot him with a gun?
Right.
But then I sound real American. But then also
shoot him with the gun.
Yeah, shoot him. And then also ghosts. I'm like, I believe in ghosts, but I'm like, like you really have no proof that they're real.
Yeah.
Like not any solid proof. And I mean, I've never had that experience before.
Right.
But the thing that really gets to me is like serial killer stuff and cults.
Yeah.
I cannot. I watched Rosemary's Baby one time. Oh my God. The devil got her pregnant. Do you know how scary that is? I cannot deal with cults, crazy white people doing crazy white people things. I can't deal with it. I don't like, I want nothing to do with it. Crazy white people. In the episode 8, crazy white dude doing crazy white dude stuff. God, trying to play God. And I hate that he used religion as like an excuse to do all of that. I mean,
and that's the thing. So the thing about it, the thing about the show for me is that there was very little zombie interaction, really.
That's what I wanted to say. So in the game, because it's a game,
right,
there was a lot of you fighting zombies
right.
to try to like level up in the game. But I've been trying to like convince my mom to watch the show, and she was like, I don't like zombies. And I'm like, Mom, I love how there are very little zombie aspects and more of just like how people reacted.
It's the human element.
It's how people reacted to like this, and how society reacted, how governments went on, like how all this happened. And it was like, I feel like in a lot of other zombie stuff that I've watched, they deal with that kind of stuff because it's like kind of given. But I feel like it was a lot more like that Korean show I was watching. It was definitely a lot more focused on like the zombies. Like there was zombie action in every single episode. With this show, we went episodes without seeing a zombie.
I mean, you saw there was only one in episode 9. That was in the beginning in the flashback.
Yeah.
In episode 8, there were no zombies.
There were no zombies.
And
episode 7, there was
a zombie in the flashback.
Well, only one.
Yeah.
In episode 5, there was that whole zombie horde.
Yeah.
Episode 1, obviously, there were zombies. And I think in episode 2, whenever Tess got killed.
Episodes 1 and 2, there was a heavy zombie presence. Yeah, but after that,
episode 5 was the only time where it was really like a lot of zombies.
Yeah. And so it was really more about like humans and how they would deal with this stuff and like dealing with human nature. So knowing what we know about history, knowing what we know about humans, like people forming like these kind of cults and things like that, and somebody, taking power in that manner. Because even the woman Kathleen, I mean, that was borderline cultish what they were doing.
She was like,
it was more like a military regime, but like she was obviously obsessed with trying to find Henry. And she was willing to do anything to do it, and all of it was because of her brother. Like she wasn't in consideration of all the other things, even to the point where she was avoiding telling people about that zombie horde that was underground.
Yeah, exactly. Like I understand, someone kills your brother, you're gonna wanna, at least give him a nice punch. But like,
give him a nice punch.
But she was like, I was like, Kathleen, girl, like I know there's not therapy in this world, but like I know y'all got some paper, I know you have pen, like just write it down, right? Write down what you're feeling, girl. I know you're hurting, but this is not the way. This is not the killing. It was not gonna make you feel better. I promise you, it's not gonna make you feel better.
But it was also kind of a result of them feeling oppressed by the government. So like obviously the Fedra people, so like the people felt oppressed by Fedra, and then you had the Fireflies that came up as a result of that. But then a lot of those people felt like the Fireflies were terrorists, which I mean
they were.
They were basically. So you kind of, but that's what happens. Like so you have like those two extremes that develop, and then you have people that are stuck in the middle of it.
Yeah, we're just like, I don't want anything to do with either of you.
Yeah, so it was really kind of that didn't play out as much in the show as I thought it would. There was a lot of there wasn't as much action as I thought. I thought there would be more, but I wasn't disappointed because of that. I liked the way they did it.
Yeah, it was the scenery was beautiful.
Yeah. I like, definitely paid attention to a lot of that.
I forgot to mention it earlier, but oh my gosh, like some of the shots of like just like
in the mountains in the background and all that other stuff.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So, and that's probably like, I mean, because they always say like this, just obviously just not just bring this stuff up or like we don't want to know what will really happen.
Yeah. Right.
But this always said that like the city is kind of like one of the worst places to be because it's such a concentration of people. Like basically the cities are what's going to go down first.
Yeah.
So then people are going to move into the outskirts, into the more remote areas, and try to survive that way. So it made sense that they had kind of like found somewhere nestled out in the wilderness that they were able to kind of like survive and build this new society. But it was cool just to see, like, I was happy that there was somewhere like that there because everything else just seemed to be so terrible. Yeah. Like, and then
that's what I thought that the guy in episode 8 was going to be like.
Yeah, but
no.
But no, they didn't have any resources there. They hadn't figured out all the things
that
they had figured out. So like they were really like in desperate times. I mean, they were eating people, for God's sakes.
Yeah, and then I just remembered he told the girl, he was like, "We'll bury your dad in the winter."
Oh yeah,
because the ground is frozen, and then she was probably eating her.
No, she was definitely eating her dad. Like why? Yeah, so that's the thing. So what are you gonna happen? Yeah,
I don't understand people who tell lies like that.
Yeah,
they're
because
like,
eventually you're gonna
eventually like she's gonna be like, okay, it's summer.
It's time to bury him now.
And he's like, well, about that, you kind of pooped him out, like.
Oh, why did you just?
That was such a bad joke.
Oh God, that was so horrible.
I'm so sorry. I had to say it. No, look, no, the mic is falling. Oh my God, everything's falling apart. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Well, on that note,
I am so sorry. I can't believe I just said that.
I mean, it was kind of true though. I mean, I guess it's just a horrible thought. It's just, I mean, you would hate to think about it because there have been other instances or other movies. There was this movie, I think it came out probably like when I was your age, man, called Alive. It was like these people, their plane had crashed in like the mountains.
I've heard about this story.
Yeah, and it was like a true story, and they ended up like people were dying, and the other people that were surviving ended up eating the people in order to live.
There's this thing, I forget what it was, the Donner Party. It was this group of settlers in North America, and they were migrating to like. I think they were migrating to California. I could be wrong because it was the gold rush time.
Oh, right.
So they're migrating to California to like try to get the gold, and they did it during the winter, right?
Which is a bad idea.
Which is a bad idea, and there was just so many things that like misinformation and people telling them, "Hey, this is a shortcut," when it turned out that it was taking them 500 miles in the wrong direction, and it was just a lot of stuff, and eventually, people started dying. And they had to eat the people who were dying, and it was just very disturbing. And it was a funny part of the story where like,
there's a funny part to the story.
The dude who was telling the story made it funny. He was like, there are natives who showed up and were like, oh no, we gotta go. Like the native people were showing up and looking at these like white people, like they said they look like skeletons. They were so thin, and they literally said that they started killing people in front of them. The natives were like, we gotta go. Like,
we're just gonna leave you guys here.
Yeah, they were basically like, we're cool. We're just gonna leave. But yeah, so it's just like a lot of just like, this going back to that, a lot of just like what would happen if this were to happen in real life. Yeah. And how people would react. I think, this is a good question. How would you react if this happened?
I mean, do whatever you gotta do to survive. I don't know if I would get to the point where I'm gonna eat people. But I mean, like, just, obviously I'm gonna do whatever I have to do to protect you.
Oh, that's so cute.
I mean, but yeah, it's just, I would just do whatever you had to do to survive, Yeah. And it kind of like, I mean, I have some skills, but it's like, you often wonder, not to get too dark here, but like, if something ever happens, like, like what skills do we really have in terms of survival, and like.
We have no.
Yeah, like, I mean, because like, I don't know how to grow anything,
Oh, I do. Kind of.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah. But I mean, but the thing is.
I can grow potatoes.
Well, that's good. Potatoes and good starch, good source.
Yeah.
But no, it is. But I also know that necessity is the father of invention, and in put in certain circumstances, I mean, when you're forced to figure things out.
Yeah, I feel like if this were to play out exactly how I feel like. For some reason, I feel like if this were to happen, this will play out exactly how. Not Sarah dying, I would hope not. But I feel like it will play out exactly because you kind of like, sometimes you'll go out at night and I'll just be left. And I feel like stuff will start to go down. And I'd just be like, Dad? I'd just be in the house, like like, where are you? And then you like pull up and what car do you have? You have a Honda, right?
Oh yeah, Honda.
You pull up in your Honda, like get in the car, and we like. I don't know, but
in the car's full of guns.
Yeah. Like, where did you get these from? Like, you've been gone for 30 minutes. but I feel like it would turn out like that. You go into like full on survival mode, and I'd be asking too many questions, and you probably told me to shut up. And I'd be freaking out. No, because I took a quiz on like what character I would be or something, and they had to like ask a question like, how would you react in a zombie apocalypse? And I asked my friends, they're like, calm, cool, and collected, secretly freaking out, like all those options. And then one of them was like panic, like crying on the floor in the corner, freaking out, doesn't know what to do. All my friends said, that one's you. And I was like, yeah, you're probably right. Because when like you've seen me panic before.
Oh yeah. It goes down here pretty quick.
Yeah, no, it's like as soon as I like a tinge of just like something's going wrong.
Oh yeah.
I shut down.
Oh,
and I'm like, no, this is the end. Like we're just like nope.
Yeah, that wouldn't serve you well in the zombie apocalypse.
No, I would get. I mean, I would get it together.
You would get it together. Yeah,
but
you would definitely freak out.
At first, I'd be like, oh my, like what is happening? But yeah, I feel like
I can't imagine. I think most people would. I mean, I feel like. I mean, in like, granted, like I keep saying this because you just don't want to actually see it. But when something like that happens, I mean, I think a lot of people would just freak out. But you know, sometimes you just gotta go with it, man.
And I feel like eventually I get it together. I feel like my build would help. Because I mean, like, I'm not small, obviously.
Yeah.
And I have some muscles.
You have some muscle. You have some strength.
And I'm tall.
Yeah.
So I feel like it would help.
Oh.
But, you know, I mainly just, like, get behind you. And that's why I also asked, because, like, when Sarah hurt her ankle, I was like, dude, would you be able to carry me like that? And you're like, yeah, if, like, it was, like, absolutely necessary.
Oh, yeah, fireman carry for sure. Throw you over my shoulder, we're going to run.
Like a rag doll. I've never been carried like that. I don't think I ever will.
Oh, well, you know, let's hope you don't have to find out.
No, yeah.
Yeah. Well, this has been fun.
Yeah.
Once again, I think we've covered everything. Is anything else?
No, not really. I'm excited for season 2.
Yeah, in 2 years from now.
2 years from now,
Hopefully you'll be
16.
driving me around. Hopefully.
Okay, I need to rep my art again. No one has asked me. I know you have money. You're an adult, okay? You have a lot of cool black friends who have I know they have like
who have money.
Some type of money. Please.
I thought I bought that one. You gonna sell that one? I paid for that one.
No.
Oh, just other art.
Like other art.
Okay.
Like I just drew something. You thought it was good?
It was good.
It was a black woman.
Nia's a talented artist that needs money.
Thank you.
So
I do need money. Okay.
Buy her art.
Every time I'm on here, I'm gonna keep saying, buy my art until someone actually buys my art.
Well, you know, keep trying. Keep hope alive.
I'm a reoccurring. Also, if Pedro Pascal or Bella Ramsey sees this, I'm gonna get real close. I do not have Instagram or any social media, but you can message me. You can message me through my dad's account.
Oh my god!
His handle. What is your handle? At 9 with a 9.
914 media.
_4. The number 4.
No. It's 914_media_group.
Yeah, what he said. Especially Pedro, please.
And on that note,
happy birthday, man. You're really hot. I'm gonna look back on this in like a couple years and be like, I just embarrassed myself. Okay, anyway.
Yeah. So now that you're done embarrassing me, we're gonna wrap this up.
Yep.
Hopefully, I mean, obviously, I guess it's too late to say spoiler alert, but like I said, like we always say, if you haven't seen the show, then you probably don't want to watch a review of the show.
Yeah.
So, but
next episode, I feel like my hair is always different. Next episode, each episode I'm on here,
you should have a mohawk next time.
No, next episode my hair will be hot pink, and if it isn't,
it won't be hot pink.
It won't
It will not. I can pretty much guarantee you that your hair will not be hot pink.
Okay, I'll have a mohawk next time.
Okay.
It'll probably be a different
I mean, well, no, you've had like pink hair, but it was like, like it was like extensions like that hair we can take out, like not dyed.
Yeah, no.
No, not
right.
not hot pink dye.
Anyways.
Yeah. Till next time, as always, thank everybody for viewing in, tuning in, viewing my content. There's so much out there. There's so much other stuff you could be looking at. So if you take the time to view mine, I never want to take that for granted.
Let's go watch Kingsman.
Right now.
Yes.
I guess there's time.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you to my child.
Yes.
Well, basically, I force her to do this. This isn't like a
no,
voluntary thing. Yeah, it's just like I just tell her you just have to come on. You have to be a filler. I have to put somebody else here, so you do it. I'm going to put you on punishment. But yeah, thank you for joining me.
Yep.
Until next time, peace out.
Pedro Pascal, I love you. I love you. I love you. Turn it off.
Are you obsessed?
Turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it off.